How do we communicate our ideas, our thoughts to our seniors? How do we communicate our value to our seniors? Especially the people who are senior to us in their authority, people who are older than us. How do we communicate our value, our ideas to them without coming across as arrogant or rude? Trust me, this is the most frequently asked question, especially by mid level professionals. That how do I tell my opinion? I really want to tell my opinion, and seniors are there to listen to me as well. But I get very nervous and I don't know how do I put across my message without coming across as arrogant or without coming across as rude. So, in this video, I'll be discussing with you 6 steps which you have to keep in mind when you have to have a conversation with your seniors, when you want to put across your idea in front of your seniors. First thing, very important. It might sound basic to you, but it is extremely important, which is do your homework. Do your homework. See, practice is really underrated in communication. Like people talk about n number of things when it comes to how do you communicate your ideas, but they do not talk about the most important thing, which is practice. Okay, which is doing your homework. I'll tell you a simple thing and make sure you write it down, you take a note that if you want to influence other people, if you want to persuade other people, if you want that your message is put across and your message comes across as very effective and it influences other people, then you have to keep in mind that you have to believe in what you're saying. You have to 100% believe in what you are saying. Because if you believe in what you're saying, the other person has no choice, but they will believe in you, right? So make sure you do your homework. You know ins and outs of your conversation. And then you go to your senior and ask whatever you want to ask or tell whatever you want to tell. That's number one. Do your homework, practice, right? Second thing which you have to keep in mind is be concise. Okay, be very very concise, have a structured conversation. A lot of people have this problem when it comes to communication, that they think that when it comes to communicating properly with others, they feel that I am all over the place, I don't know what to say, I forget things. So for that, what you have to do it, especially when you are having a conversation with your seniors, have a structure in your mind. There are 10 things that you want to communicate. First, brainstorm and pick that maybe these are only 5 things that I should put across right now. And number them. That this is first thing that I want to say, this is second thing I want to say, this is third thing that I want to say. And then you go and talk to them. And when I say that you have to be concise and structured, I also mean that make sure that you do not make your seniors involved in the history of the project that you're talking about, that this project started from here, then it went to here, then these two people have problem in here, then it came to me and I am doing so well in this now. No. Okay, they are seniors for a reason, they know everything. Okay, if there is anything to be considered in you, anything that you have done beautifully, wonderfully, they must have already seen that, right? So it's not the right time to brag about yourself, and it's not the right time to put someone else down as well. Do not try to do that. Be very very concise in your conversation. Number 3, clarity. Clarity. See, what is clarity? Whenever we are nervous, have you seen this? Like, whenever we are nervous, it happens that we sometimes speak so fast because we are so nervous and we want to just say out things very, very quickly so that we do not forget anything. Yeah, it happens, right? It happens so many times in presentation speeches that people come and they're very nervous and they speak rush, 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 rush. They are like rushing into saying things. That's why they lack clarity. So make sure you are clear. And clarity also means that there should be no in a conversation. Okay, it takes out value from your conversation. So clarity. Another point which you have to keep in mind is pause. I say this all the time. I say this all the time that communication is not only like a mutual fund ad, right? In order to make your communication effective, you also have to give your audience the time to consume and to understand. For that, you have to take pauses, strategic pauses. Don't make your pauses so long that it becomes a little weird, right? But some strategic pauses here and there, it will also help you think better. It will help you and give you time to think what you have to say next. So pauses, right? Fifth point, again, which you have to keep in mind is, again, a very underrated point in communication, especially when you're talking to your seniors. Listen actively, listen properly. Okay, do not listen to answer, do not listen to react, do not listen with a perception. Sometimes what happens, I'm sure you'll be able to relate to me. Whenever we have a meeting with our seniors, let's say you have a meeting with your seniors tomorrow, right? And today you're preparing for that meeting. So today in your head, you will prepare question and answer, that they will say this, I will say this. They will say this, I will say this. They will say this, I will say this. Right? And in that moment, when you're having a conversation with others, sometimes people do this mistake that before even listening properly to the other person, you jump onto your answer, right? Because you have prepared so much. Don't do that. Listen properly. And especially if there are senior people, you have to listen because they have a lot to share, right? They have so many things that they can tell you. They have so much value that they can give you. Doesn't mean that you don't have to talk to them or you cannot give your value to them, but listen. Okay, listen actively. Listening is the most important part of communication. And trust me, when you're a good listener, you will automatically become a good communicator. Yeah, that's number five. Sixth point is, ask thoughtful questions. Ask thoughtful questions. Now, there are a lot of people who say that, just in order to be more visible, they start talking and they start asking questions to their senior people without even being sure of what they are asking is right or wrong. Don't do that. Don't just say things for the sake of it. Okay, don't just say things to be more visible. That will give you negative visibility, right? So say things which are of more value, which you have prepared. So some thoughtful questions which you have already prepared, or something that came in your mind in that moment, but is something logical. Okay, do not try to become over smart with asking more questions, becoming more visible. Thoughtful questions. So these are the six things which you can do in order to have a conversation with your seniors, people who have more authority than you, people who are older to you, without coming across as rude or arrogant.